Welcome to Championship Sunday of the CCS Season 5 National Championship Tournament. I'm back with Dronis. It's good to be here, Dronis. Day 3, it's time to crown a champion as Akron starts today off with Missouri.
Yeah, national championship. Coming up later tonight. Obviously, we cannot be more thrilled to see how this all plays out. We got all 4 1 seeds, the top 4 teams going into it this season, and the top 4 teams coming out of it.
That way, dude. It's going to be a fun night as Akron starts our day with Missouri, followed by Drexel and Michigan State. And Drexel is the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. They elected to go second. We'll see how that fares for the Dragons.
I think it's a smart decision. Last season, they picked to go first, and then they ended up getting through Indiana and losing to Akron, so maybe just trying to change things up according to last season. But, they got to get through Michigan State first, and that's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy for Akron either. Get through Missouri. We've seen how dominant the Tigers have been.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see, though, how the night shakes out. But, I've got Akron and Drexel in my championship game, but we'll have to wait and see how this night kind of starts to transpire for these 4 programs, all 4 1 seeds in the Final 4 again.
Yeah, I also have Akron and Drexel. It's one of those things. I would love to see a new team in the Natty, but Akron and Drexel, they have just looked unmatched in their own, and seeing them go head to head again would be one heck of a storyline. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see who can get the job done. Obviously, all of these 4 teams are elite. They are the best of the best. That's why they're here today. Championship Sunday for CCS Season 5. Who knows what could happen?
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what happens. And, no team has ever played in the CCS national title game in multiple seasons, or let alone back-to-back, with where Akron and Drexel now have the opportunity to make history tonight if they can pull off a win against Missouri or Michigan State, or else this streak could continue if Missouri and Michigan State play in the national title game.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy, honestly, to see both Akron and Drexel get knocked out. But again, we'll have to see how everything shakes out. I'm expecting it to be close series no matter what. You know me, I want to see these game 6s. I want to see game 7s. I want to see it be an absolute battle.
Out of the 4 remaining teams, Missouri is the lowest offensive rated team in the country out of the 4 remaining teams here in the Final 4. So we'll see how that fares the Tigers, although they have swept the last couple opponents in this tournament, let alone being the lowest offensive statistically performing team throughout the course of the tournament so far. But we'll have to wait and see how Missouri's might goes. But starting off with Akron, how do you think the Tigers fare?
It's tough. Akron is Akron. We all know that name in Collegiate Rocket League for a reason. This team they're phenomenal. We spoke to Jonathan. We know the confidence level of this team. We know what they can bring the pitch any given day, and obviously we've seen them just run the floor with teams before, and obviously they did it last season. That's why they're the reigning national champions. 100% of brackets in our bracket prediction had Akron making it to the Final 4, and here they are. They don't disappoint. They're steady. They're consistent. They're looking for back-to-back national championships.
Jonathan back on his real setup and good internet tonight. He is ready to roll for Akron. Is waiting on the tips to hop in the lobby here. But notice, how many games is this first series going to go?
Looking at my bracket prediction, which I have stayed true to all throughout, I have Akron Gold in 6. I think it's going to be a solid matchup. I'm hoping it maybe goes that distance of 7. Missouri have looked incredibly strong. Bubs, when he's popping off, this team can be unstoppable. Has a great supporting cast in Frostbite and Crims. That trio can be deadly when they're really in it, but getting momentum started against Akron is not easy. We'll see what Mizzou can do.
I'm excited. We're just waiting on Akron to hop in. It's going to be a fun night full of thrilling moments, I'm sure. We're going to be able to crown a 5th CCS national champion at the end of the night. Unless Akron win, then it'd still be 4 total different champions, which could very well happen again. No one's ever gone back-to-back either.
I think that's the biggest thing. We're either going to have ourselves a new national champion for 5 seasons in a row here at the Collegiate Conference Series, or we're going to have our first to back national championship winner. Regardless, history is going to be made tonight.
That it is, and we'll have to wait and see how the night shakes out. But again, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited to be here, and what a day to end off a historic CCS season.
No, it really has been absolutely incredible to see. I mean, the tournament is always incredible, but getting there is the big thing. You know, it's not about the destination; it's about the journey. But it's a little bit about the destination too. Let's be real. But the journey here has been absolutely incredible. Seeing all these teams develop, seeing other teams rise up. We've had a lot of incredibly improved teams nation throughout this season. We've seen teams, make history. West Virginia is one I always got to shout out, being the first 8 seed to overcome a 1 seed in the conference tournament after, going down tough last season. I mean, we have seen some incredible looks all across this league.
That we have, and as we're gearing up for season 6 this summer, it's going to be storylines to build upon throughout the course of the summer and from this spring. And I think one of the stories we've talked a lot about this season is Middle Tennessee State. How will the Blue Raiders go into their second season of CCS this summer, looking now to expand off a round of 32 appearance with a close set with Ball State? And I think they've got a lot of room to continue building on their storyline. But it looks like Akron is ready to roll.
Yeah, Oxy seems very rearing and ready to go, but we do have everyone in the lobby. We are going to get our last checks, and it looks like both teams are indeed ready. National semifinal, number 1, Akron versus Missouri. We're set to go.
Missouri has not lost a single game of overtime all tournament. They're 3 for 3, and Akron is 3 for 4 in overtime if we get to any OT situations tonight.
I mean, I would very much expect us to get to some OTs in this one. I mean, you got to expect that this one is going to be close regardless. But that being said, officially underway, Akron in blue, Mizzou in yellow. And again, I'm just so excited to see these kinds of teams clash. Obviously, they're the best of the best. I mean, we have all 4 1 seeds, meaning that, all 4 of the best teams that we had going into this tournament have emerged here and now competing against one another. It's nothing short of cinema.
Nothing short of cinema. Absolutely well put there, Jonas. And again, last season it took Akron 6 games to fend off the defending national champions of Colorado in the Final Four. We'll see how long it takes Missouri if they can defeat Akron tonight and remain back-to-back champion in CCS.
Yeah, obviously Akron, they're the favorites to win it all once again, and they're looking to show why. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. This team is just so consistent, always have, and I feel like they almost always will. But they have those moments where they might show a little bit, they might have their little bit of fun. But when the going gets tough, nation, this team is so tough to stop on any metric.
Both these teams are tough to stop, and again, Akron has only lost to 1 school ever in CCS. They've lost twice to Drexel, but that's a game we'll talk about later if it happens in the national title game. We'll get to them later on tonight. But Missouri, again, they also have not suffered a loss in CCS yet.
Yeah, they have not. I mean, they are one of the new teams, and they are going to strike first. Bubs, top right to put the Tigers on the board.
Frostbite gonna find Bubs for the first goal of the Final Four, 3:26 to go, and the Missouri Tigers 1-0.
And they've just had themselves some early pressure. I mean, been able to push the Zips back quite a bit. Now off the kickoff, does this one sneak in? It does. Emilio gets it right back for Akron.
And the Zips gonna equalize to join us the kickoff goals. We talked about them all tournament long. Akron, one of the best in the country.
Yeah, they really are. They've been able to create themselves a lot of good strategies, and you can see just all that momentum it felt like Missouri was going to be able to get early on, immediately shut down by Akron. Now looking to reclaim control and take themselves a lead. Frostbite will escape. Big demo from Crims. Oxy trying to stall. It's a good beat from Frostbite. Crims might have himself a look. Jonathan trades his life for the touch into the corner, and first 2 minutes gone by, and I mean, again, we're just seeing these two teams, I think, more so figuring each other out early on.
Missouri, a 93% win rate when scoring first. We'll see if that continues on to be good for Missouri. As Akron, again, did strike right back immediately. But, Championship Sunday, where champions are crowned and legends are made in CCS, who could step up to the plate?
I mean, Akron's always been one of those teams that do it, and Mizzou, this being their first season in CCS, you would expect them to be able to compete and step up. We've seen it before. I'm expecting to see it again, and that's why, Championship Sunday is so incredible to see, because you have these two unstoppable forces facing off as Krim's getting bailed out a little bit there by Bubs. He had a wide open net here and banged the crossbar.
Well, good thing it found Bubs for the Tigers offense. They lead now 2-1 just after the halfway point, as the Tigers 2-1 and half the game to go.
I think maybe we see a little bit of nerves set in here, Nation. I mean, both these teams and ultimately all the teams we have here on Championship Sunday are all, I would say seasoned veterans, have been able to deal with pressure. But do you still think that sets in a little bit?
Absolutely, it does. Although Akron's got experience. They were here just a couple months ago in the Final Four, and where they took down Colorado and later on won the national championship. But obviously nerves set in at this point in the tournament, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with the Zips with Missouri. This is their first run at the CCS championships. They've had a lot of success and a lot of sweeps outside of the Wichita State series. They let them go to Game 7.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone expected Mizzou to kind of really get here, and they have really shown why they deserve, and the dominant team over in the SEC. Here's a good turnaround. Krims to Bubs, mistimes it. Oxy won't be able to make the save. It trickles in for Krims.
Krims hits first of the Final Four. Minute 36 to go. That's an own goal out of Oxy, and Akron now trail by 2. They might trail the series by 1 here in a second.
Yeah, Oxy just completely mistimed that flip. Had himself a free save there, just couldn't quite take advantage. And now we'll see what can be done by Akron to try and work their way back. And then looking for some more work off the kickoff. Frostbite, a good turnaround. Bubs leaves it for Krims. Jonathan, one touch out. Not much more for Akron. We're seeing the reigning champs kind of struggling to find their footing throughout the midfield.
Yeah, another thing to mention too is, all 4 teams playing tonight are guaranteed themselves $50 as Frostbite has a fourth. The winner this one guaranteed $100 in earnings.
Yeah, I mean, you always want a piece of that green, as we're just seeing the defense not looking quick enough for Akron, and Mizzou are all over them time and time again. And now we have to see what can be changed from Akron, because this frankly isn't good enough early on. Might have another look off the kickoff, but it's off the upper 90 and away. Frostbite will carry it out for the Tigers.
Akron has struggled with Game 1 in this tournament. They are 2-2 in Game 1 in this tournament. Missouri 4-0 in Game 1, and about to make that 5-0 as Frostbite's got a 5-1 lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting out of hand early. I mean, very much expect Akron to be able to battle back, but what a shot there from Frostbite is pixel perfect. It goes over top. We'll have to see what the Zips can do. I mean, this is a team who I believe can adapt very well, but this is just Missouri running the show from the get-go.
That it is, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. We're looking front. Oxy off the post, couldn't turn that one in. Akron still trailing by 4. The offensive woes continue.
Yeah, and ultimately they haven't had enough offensive looks, and the ones that they have had have not been good enough. Nation, it's currently, they're 1 for 4 as a team. Missouri have no saves. 3 out of the 4 shots from Akron have just been off the mark.
Your offense has to find a way to generate opportunities, and Akron has done that, but your shots have to be on target, and Akron's offense has struggled to put shots away late.
Yeah, they really have, and they're going to have to look forward towards Game 2 to try and get something underway, as it is a dominant Game 1 win for the Tigers. We'll see how Akron is able to respond to this, because a response is needed.
It is going to be needed, Jonas. And Missouri, coming into today now 5-0 in Game 1 of this tournament, in Akron now 2-3 to open up a series, which again, we've kind of watched them a couple rounds this tournament. They have not looked great when starting the series.
Yeah, we saw it against Virginia Tech. That was really telling. It looked like Virginia Tech was going to, put the reigning champs in a bit of a dangerous spot. We did see Akron Gold kind of lock back in and get the job done, but dropping 2 games to an 18 Virginia Tech, it's not too bad. And when you're Akron, you're able to lock back in. You don't really look at it as too much, but it is telling, because if they don't focus up against a team like Missouri in the Final Four, things might get out of hand quick, and that they did in Game 1.
Yeah, but good news for Akron, though. So they never lost a game two. They're 4-0 in game two, and they've also never lost 2 games straight in a row in this tournament. So, things are looking well here for Akron in terms of statistically measuring success. But again, Missouri's a whole new beast from the Final Four. You're playing one of the 4 best teams in the country now to win a national championship.
And we'll see if Akron are going to be able to adapt this. They really need to as of right now, because Missouri a dominant game 1 victory. We'll see if they can keep that level of offense up, and we'll see how the Zips are really able to try and turn this thing around. But you're already seeing Missouri just having so much pressure. Jonathan to the backboard, Frostbite's there, Demo comes through it. The Tigers are just all over the blue half.
It's an early onslaught here as Akron's defense has been under siege for the last couple of opportunities, and Missouri continues to create drones, and Akron's offense needs to find a way to establish some offensive rhythm and build some momentum going into game 2 here. As again, they've had a 100% win rate in game 2, but Missouri, again, I said earlier, is an all-new beast Akron is yet to play this season.
Yeah, it really has, and you're seeing Missouri look really strong in terms of their team play opening up. But Jonathan double, no good. Melia has a free look. He wants to double himself, but the pinch clear is made by Mizzou. That is a big chance miss for Akron.
At 2 big opportunities gone by the wayside. Akron's offense going to continue to see itself, have some issues, but there's the first one. Jonathan going to find the first lead of the night.
Able to finally just put this one away. Crim's just in a really tough spot, and then Bobs completely misses there. I don't know if it was a misread. I don't know if he was expecting a heavier touch, but either way, he went right on by, and Akron more than happy to take that free goal number 1. And now let's see what they can do while they're ahead.
3:30 to go here in game number 2. Akron, again, a good start. They've got a 100% win rate in game 2, so things have always turned up for Akron. It's looking to be the same situation here as a 1-0 start 2 minutes in.
I mean, that's a solid start you can ask for. And I mean, you're expecting Mizzou to get their offense right back in line and respond as Jonathan, a bit of an awkward touch through the midfield. We'll get one out. We are seeing Akron doing better on boost consumption. They've been able to control these big boosts a lot more, and it forces Missouri to be a little bit more awkward, forces them to kind of bail out more towards the midfield. But Mizzou, you just got to feel that there's going to be a moment where their offense is able to really bear down and pressure you back. Frostbite, he's going to have full reign of the pitch. No good on the flick. It'll fall to Crims.
Half the game already off the clock. And then we talked about earlier, Missouri's 93% win rate when scoring first coming into tonight. Akron 81.25 here in this tournament so far when scoring first.
As Bub's a nice look there, and those first goals are always huge to get that little bit of early momentum. And we've seen so many of these teams who just play so incredible when they have themselves a lead, not having to focus on scoring more, just kind of keeping that pedal to the metal, keeping their defense tight. And we've seen it look good, and both teams honestly have shown that so far this season, but Missouri even more so.
Missouri's one of the teams to watch this season. Again, newcomers to the league. We announced them at the end of last season's tournament on after Championship Sunday was over on the following Monday, and we were happy and super excited to have them come to the league and compete. And they are playing now 2 games away from a national championship.
Yeah, and they're looking really strong so far. Of course, game 1 is kind of gone by the wayside now as Akron have turned it around well, but you got to feel that there's still going to be plenty of chances for the Tigers to get back into this second game.
Right. We also, wanted to get Akron and Drexel some competition, and brought in Ball State. We brought in Michigan State, brought in Missouri. I mean, a lot of new programs continuing to come into the league, and it's been fun to watch this league, growth from the start and building, the foundation of what this league can become.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, what is it? Two of our 1 seeds and at least 2 of our 2 seeds are all new, having Michigan State and Mizzou, and then having Radford and I'm blanking on the other one.
Florida and JMU also are not new, so it's definitely not that. It'd be the Midwest too. Ball State.
Oh, Ball State. Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, so I mean, having 2 new 2 seeds, 2 new 1 seeds, I mean, again, just really extending the depth and making that top level of competition even tougher, and it's really exciting to, again, Akron they seemed unstoppable last season. They're still undefeated in playoff play, and Mizzou, they're looking to take them down here as they will equalize here in game number 2. 1-1 goes the scoreline.
I think Oxy thought that Krebs' shot was going to hit the bar and bounce straight up and down, but it was able to trickle in 1-1, 33 seconds. Missouri now has tied the game, can play for a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it was also just a misread from Jonathan off the ceiling. Could not find any contact, and I think Oxy just had full faith that he was going to be able to get there and make some sort of touch, and with nothing, it let the shot line open up, and now Mizzou getting things tied. OT looming on the horizon. We'll see which team can answer. There's still 10 seconds for one of these teams to take in regulation.
Jonathan, flip reset. He'll get back to it, has some help in the corner, bumped off though now. Bubs sort of counter finds Frostbite. Missouri, last ditch effort here. Akron Milio fires on target, trying to finish it. He's good. Akron able to win game 2.
Milio ices up in game number 2. A great beat over Krim, stays on it. Bubs is there, no problem. He gets the job done on the rebound. Akron equalized the series at 1 apiece.
And again, that was beautiful pickpocket on the cleared. Akron remains unbeaten in game 2.
And I mean, it all came down to that one shot, Nation. I mean, you can see shot count was even, saves only differing in 1, and those goals only differing in 1. It really came down to that one final look, and Milio got the job done. Well-deserved MVP, 100% goal participation, having half the saves himself. Popped off there in game 2.
That he did, and again, it took a 0-second effort too to, battle back and find a way to win in a difficult game. And they know Missouri coming in are going to be tough to beat, and Missouri should know that Akron's tough to beat. So again, both these teams playing on a difficult playing field, and they know what it takes to go all the way.
Yeah, I can't imagine either of these teams take each other lightly. I mean, I think they both know the reputation and the prowess that each other's programs have, and I think they know it's going to be a solid matchup regardless. Jonathan, we know he's got a ton of confidence, but I think he also has a ton of respect for Mizzou.
Akron's the only team in this tournament out of all 64 teams that once started this tournament to have never lost 2 games directly in a row.
And that just seems insane.
The rest of the field has lost more than more than a game in a row. But game 3 now, Tronus, it is do or die as a 2-1 lead on the line.
Yeah, it would be a huge lead, and it's going to be Mizzou, who snapped right back after the game 2 loss, and who else but Bubs to open it up. Frostbite, another dime across.
And Bubs going to put that one away. 4:40 to go in game number 3. Have I been changing the map? I honestly have forgotten.
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember if I have or not. I'm locked in on the game.
That's fair enough. I mean, we do have ourselves a really intriguing game as Frostbite. What a boom, top right corner, Mizzou extend.
4:33, Frostbite doubles the lead 27 seconds in, and my goodness, what a snapshot there.
75 miles an hour to that upper 90, and again, it looked like he didn't have a ton of momentum going forward, but the power he generated on that shot was just unstoppable. In Akron, they got to feel good about getting that first game, but Mizzou, their offense right back up to a hot start. Frostbite, a good save here. Oxy, good challenge, but misses wide. Bubs secures the corner, gets it over to Jonathan, and buys some much needed time and space for Mizzou. Maybe a look here. Oxy saves it off the post.
Game 3, Akron trailing by 2, still 4 minutes though to go in game 2 as Missouri has had a heck of a start after last game's defeated 0 seconds, where it took Milio pickpocketing a clear and putting a shot away on with no time remaining. But now game 3 is an all new ball game as Akron starts in a hole early.
Yeah, I mean, this just kind of offense seems unbeatable from Mizzou. When they're able to get that offense rolling early, you can see even a team like Akron has trouble kind of reestablishing their footing and regaining control of this game. As a minute and a half gone by, there still have been no looks offensively for Akron. They've barely been able to get out of their own half.
And Akron's offense runs through Milio. 69.3% goal participation, third highest remaining of the players in the tournament.
Yeah, and obviously we saw his offensive output at the end of game number 2, being able to score that 0-second goal. We'll see if he can keep things rolling. Obviously would love that extra boost from Oxy and Jonathan. Here's a good 50 from Jonathan. Milio is there. He's eyeing up a double. Can't put it away.
3 minutes to go here in game 3. Crims, a whip in front, Jonathan over 2, have no help for Emilio. Oxy, though, trying to craft the boards. Oxy gets a beat, now an open target, Akron within 1.
And what a turnaround here off the sidewall. That was Emilio, pinched it down straight onto the hood of Oxy. You could see Crims had no chance of reaching it, and Frostbite could not get back in time. That completely caught Mizzou off guard.
Bubs, the highest offensive production from this tournament. 76.8% of the time he's involved in a goal.
And that just seems absolutely incredible as Jonathan, what a read here on the drop down. Took it straight away from Frostbite, locked it down, dunking Crims top left.
That 2-goal run's a great way to build some momentum too, Jonas. After an 0-2 start, Akron has stormed back to tie this game and 1-3. Stormed back last game to tie it. Akron reclaimed the lead, but we'll see if Akron now can keep Missouri from claiming a lead here again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great look for Akron after 2 ferocious early goals from Mizzou, being able to immediately bounce back. A little bit of time goes by, but you stay locked in. You're able to get to yourself and tie things up. That is a great look for Akron. They just got to keep up that pace, but Frostbite steals it right back. The lead in the hand of the Tigers once again.
And Missouri with 2:17 to go. It's none other than Frostbite, and look who's involved. It's Bubs off the assist.
Yeah, and you can just see in net such a tough save to make, needing to try and steal that away, and ultimately not expecting that shot towards the low corner. Emilio trying to respond for Akron, snaps it into the ground. Frostbite patiently waiting. Oxy escapes to the sidewall, pinches it up high, bumped off by Frostbite. A good beat from Jonathan. It's a 2v1. Bubs trying to pre-jump the save. He makes do.
A minute warning. In game 3, Akron still within 1 here. Jonathan looking for a beat, couldn't find the connection there. Good demo for Emilio, couldn't place it on target. Jonathan in trouble. Oxy left by his lonesome as Akron's offense has a minute 40 to work with as they trail by 1.
Yeah, and they're still just looking to get more effectiveness out of that offense and ultimately get more speed and control through the midfield, as we have seen Missouri just absolutely lock down that middle third at times. And a little bit of a threatening look here, no one able to jump on it. For Mizzou, up high goes Emilio over the top of Frostbite. Now Crims towards the corner, not going to have much more. Akron holding well, but they need to stay consistent.
Minute 18 to go. Frostbite, good save towards the corner. Oxy looking for a 50, will find one, find over a second. No one there. It's a close second to finish that one off, but Missouri's offense has been tough to stop once it's really gotten going.
Yeah, it has indeed. I mean, we have seen it gotten slowed down here. Emilio fired that pass a little bit too far over the middle. Now Oxy towards the backboard, gets it back over to Emilio. Gonna have a tough read here as Crims will just send it across Missouri. More than happy just to keep playing the ball across time and time again and to really try and stall things out. But here come the Zips looking for a look, but it's gonna be Crims who booms it away.
Missouri just lost all their boost still on their own side as Jonathan and Oxy took away all of it. The defense able to hold the line and keep Akron from scoring. 30 seconds to go in game number 3. Akron, a couple more opportunities potentially. Here's Emilio back across open field. Jonathan looking for a boost way out of the play with Akron, though still on the yellow side. 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, in these last couple minutes, we've just seen Akron struggling to find each other consistently on the offensive look. Bubs, a good outspeed there. We need to see Akron keep that ball a little bit closer. Here's a good look. Emilio off the ceiling, intercepted. Jonathan off corner. Emilio's not going to have the read. It's cleared. Forward, Oxy is there. Bubs looking to kill it for Mizzou. Jonathan backboard. Bubs is there. He misses, and Frostbite will clear it out. Surely it falls that. It does. Missouri right back in front.
The Tigers 2-1 now in the national semifinal, and going into game 4 now. Akron trailing again. We'll see how they can bounce back in game 4, because again they have trailed this one twice, 2-1.
And ultimately, they just struggled to really lock down Frostbite and Bubs, as all the offensive output coming from those two players there. Crims did well as a third in support, but ultimately Frostbite going 2 for 3, having Bubs go 1 for 2. I mean, shooting 3 for 5 as a duo is huge against a team like Akron.
Right, and Akron has trailed Virginia Tech and Iowa State after 3, so it's not unfamiliar territory for Akron to be down at this point in this series. They did lead Colorado all the way though last season in the Final Four, but that's a whole other situation. But tonight, Missouri is who they have to find a way to defeat. But Missouri's looking really, really good right now.
Yeah, and again, I think it's just Akron still struggling to connect at times. We've seen their offense is really able to find that success when they find each other. Their defense has struggled to do that. We've seen them struggle linking clears together in transition, moving through that midfield as a unit. And Missouri, they're a quick enough team, and all three of these guys are so speedy for Mizzou. They're going to be able to steal those passes through the midfield. They're going to be able to steal possession through the midfield, and that's where they take control.
Mizzou 2-1. In front here right now in game number 4. We'll see if Akron can equalize again, but if Mizzou win this game, they are looking poised for a national championship game appearance.
100%. They're going to get going early as Bubs will do it himself up high. No one from Akron able to get back a big 50, and there's just no one left to stop it.
Bubs going to put the Tigers on the board 14 seconds in. And let's not forget last season, Akron had to reverse sweep in the round of 16 to stay alive. Could this round right here be the story of the comeback this season?
I mean, it very well could have. That's a big mind game from Emilio. Flicks it top shelf, and what a beauty of a fake here from Emilio.
Well, I guess we don't need to talk about a comeback much longer. As Akron able to equalize game 4 here, 19 seconds into regulation. And again, if they do drop this game, it'll be a 3-1 hole for Akron, and it's a long way to crawl out of, if you are Missouri, trying to fend off Akron, who's been dominant this tournament as well as Missouri's offense. But again, Bub's one of the best players in CCS, obviously the highest offensive producer in this tournament.
I mean, we did see Mizzou struggle to put away Wichita State. That's, one thing to always keep note of, as did see the Shockers almost reverse sweep Mizzou. The Tigers were able to get it back in game 7 to take it dominant. That's a great save from Crims to keep things going. Oxy sidewall double, no good. But you got to feel that even if Akron go down 1-3, that they're still going to have a chance to fight back and stay in it.
That they are. I feel like, you can't count anybody out at this point in the tournament, no matter, what round it is or what seed somebody is. Even if this was Wichita State or NAU playing in this game, you can never count somebody out that's made it this far.
Yeah, and we'll have to see as now Bubs has a look, can't put it away. Crim's follow-up is good, and Mizzou, their offense is unceasing.
There's 3:45, and Bubs again involved, finds Crims for a 2-1 Tiger lead, a minute 15 in.
Yeah, and Akron, they're trying their best to keep the speed up, trying not to bend, trying not to break, but I mean, when you're going up against a team like Mizzou, who have so many different ways of attacking, so many different ways of scoring, it's tough to consistently find a way to stop them.
3:30 on the clock here so far in game number 4, and this really feels like a must-win, although it really isn't for Akron, but a win here would be nice to tie this series at 2-2 respectively and go into game 5 in a best-of-3.
Yeah, I mean, you do not want to give Missouri a chance to try and get things done in 5. You don't want to let them get up 3-1, as you might not ever come back from it, as Frostbite will add on another. And again, the defense from Akron can just not withstand this kind of pressure.
And Emilio turned around there, caught out in a bad spot. Frostbite gonna punish him for it, and Bubs again is involved.
Yeah, just keeping the pressure going time and time again. And 3 minutes left to go. There's still plenty of time for Akron to respond, but you start to feel like if they really can consistently with the kind of offense we're seeing from the Tigers.
2:50 on the clock here in Akron. The defending national champions down by 2 here in game 4 and a 3-1 series deficit. Could face Zips here in a couple minutes if things can't turn north for Akron.
Yeah, they got to spin it around. They got to get the offense going. They got to get their defense locked in. They got to find some way to try and dismantle Missouri and at least just try and make them uncomfortable, because the Tigers, I mean, it doesn't even seem like they're doing too much, Nation. They're just kind of playing quickly. They're playing fast. They're creating pressure. They're looking for chances, and Akron have not just been able to keep up.
And Missouri, again, coming from the SEC, has Florida, and Akron's got Ball State, but both those leagues are getting better in terms of the skill set of the conference. With 2 minutes to go, they've been well prepared for this moment.
Yeah, I mean, We've seen the MAC look incredible, having Bowling Green, having UMass, having Central Michigan. They've looked great, and obviously seeing the SEC, Texas A&M. They were a big story up alongside Mizzou and Florida. As Jonathan will bring the Zips back within one. Some good pressure here on the physicality from Emilio.
A minute 50 as Jonathan going to put the first away, and Akron back within one. Plenty of time to go. Don't count them out.
Absolutely not. But again, their defense has just gotta find a little bit more success here. And we'll see if Mizzou can again respond quickly, as Bub's looking to carry this one over. Oxy will do just that. Jonathan has a touch at the midfield far side wall. Frostbite there. Emilio gets it over one. Oxy turns, gets a good 50 here. Maybe a shot on front. Frostbite. No boost left. Oxy going over to Jonathan. It's another one. We're all tied.
And Akron storm back a 2-goal run to equalize game 4 in a pivotal moment, as again Frostbite just had no boost, couldn't get back to that one. He was caught out by himself.
Yeah, and that's just some good pressure from Akron to be able to really force that no boost situation, force that awkward spot where you really can't do anything to bring yourself out of it. Now 3-3, 80 seconds left, still anyone's game, but again, you feel that if Akron aren't able to take this one, it might be over.
And it might, again, Missouri, they've always been poised in this tournament. Again, they haven't dominated Akron. Again, the score could be 2-2 here in a minute, but they haven't quite played somebody that has broken them like Wichita State somewhat did in the reverse sweep attempt, but Akron has kept with them early on.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, we've seen this Mizzou team face off against Florida obviously quite a bit. We saw it in the regular season. We saw it in the SEC conference tournament. And it was a good showing from Florida in the regular season in conference play. They took it to 5, and it was kind of at that moment that you think that Florida maybe is more legit. Maybe there's a little bit more weakness in Mizzou, but then conference tournament championship happened, and Mizzou showed why they are the dominant Tigers team.
And I went to 6 still, and Florida had a look on 0 seconds. It didn't go their way, but Akron has taken the lead with 22 to go.
They have stormed their way all the way back as Frostbite really awkward off the spawn, and Emilio lightning quick to it. No one can shut him down.
Missouri's offense producing at a high rate right now, though. Can't count them out, as they've scored the same number of goals in the first 2 games of this series as they have in any other series in this tournament.
Yeah, and that says all you need to know about what kind of offense we're seeing from Mizzou. Obviously, I think maybe a little bit inflated because of that dominant showing in game number 1, but again, establishing what kind of offense they bring to the table. But the offense isn't what they need here. The defense crumbles again. It's Oxy who finds goal number 5.
And Akron, a 4-goal run, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a 3-1 lead for Mizzou.
That's just incredible work from Akron in the second half to turn things around the way they have, to get this series back to equilibrium. But now if you're Missouri or Akron, what do you do going to game 5 20 minutes in here?
I mean, I think if you're Mizzou, you're just going to try and keep playing a little bit quicker. I think they slowed down a little bit towards the latter half of that game, and that's what really allowed Akron to kind of get their offense back up and activated. As Missouri, they had those 3 goals on 5 shots, and then they did put on any more shots for the rest of the game as Akron just completely took control. They turned up the heat, and Missouri had to get out of there. I think Akron, they're just going to be looking to keep that pressure up. I think if they do, they're in a great spot, but Mizzou, they have to try and flip the switch again, go back to that game 1 mentality.
Absolutely, but Akron has always responded after a loss with a win. They've never, lost 2 games in a row in this tournament. They are the only team left in this field of 64 that has never lost 2 in a row.
And again, that just showing the kind of grit that this team of Akron has, and they're the reigning champs for a reason. But Mizzou, if they get to match point, do you think they can just close it out no matter what?
I think it goes to 7 at this point if Missouri win the next game. Again, Akron hasn't lost 2 in a row, so statistically speaking, if Missouri win game 5, Akron should win game 6, and we go to game 7.
Well, indeed, have to see. I mean, this one really could go either way, but winner of this next game is on match point in this national semifinal. Will be 1 game away from making it to the national championship. We'll see who can do it.
Well, no team has ever played the national championship game multiple times, let alone a back-to-back. Akron 2 games away from history. Drexel a chance at history later on tonight, but a flip reset for Frostbite trying to open up the offense early, but nothing there as Akron's defense will hold off.
Oh, that's a great transition from Melio. Long-range sniper Oxy put it on top of his car, and Melio did the rest.
Emilio, again, one of the best offensive scores in this tournament, 12 seconds in. And, game 4 was the start of Missouri's struggle with Wichita State. With a very similar scoreline, they led 3-1 at one point, then lost 4-3 in game 4 to the Shockers. And that's when things started to go south. We'll see if things can go south here with Akron.
Well, the thing about it is they did, in their defense, they did lock back in and were able to win that series. But, Akron's no Wichita State, so we'll see what Mizzou are going to be able to do. Again, they cannot let things get too awry. I mean, you give a team like Akron too much momentum, and it's going to be tough to try and reel it back in.
Another thing that me and you talk a lot about in this tournament is teams that have survived Game 7 the first time failed to survive it the second time. Missouri survived it the first time. If this goes to 7, are the Tigers in trouble?
I mean, they very well might be. I mean, obviously, looking at that history, as this one almost finds its way in from Melio and Oxy, Jonathan, he's going to have a look, puts it high, Bub's a good takeaway. But ultimately, I think if Mizzou do lose in 7, it's mostly going to be because they let the foot off the gas. They let Akron work their way back into game number 4. Then they take, this game 5 and have match point. That's 2 games going into match point, and I think that's going to be the thing that would break them more so.
3:38 to go. Akron, a 1-0 start in Game 5. And again, they've got another good win rate when scoring first. I think it was 81 1/4. It was our statistician let us know that prior to kickoff. But again, it's been fun to watch and keep track of everything going on more statistically in this tournament.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, having those extra stats is always so incredible to look at, to find those trends, to find those patterns, and use them as more info to see how this series develops. As it will be Akron who put another away. They're up 2-0. Missouri might be in a bit of trouble, nation.
3:07 are tied, starting to turn for Akron.
It looks like it very well might be Missouri. They cannot seem to find any sort of footing. The first 2 minutes of this game, Akron shooting, they got themselves 6 shots as of right now, of course, put away 2. Missouri have yet to put a shot on. They cannot get through the midfield with any sort of control.
3 minutes to go here in game number 5, and we'll see if Missouri can call a comeback as Akron did it last game. We'll see if the Tigers offense will show some signs of life here in the second half, but to maybe look for Crims quickly turned away, and Akron's defense has been much faster at reacting to infield options.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, I think that's one of those things that just happens a little bit over time, being able to adapt to a team like Mizzou, get to know that offense a little bit better, as this one sent wide across by Oxley. But ultimately, Akron's a team who, they have this experience. They're going to be able to find their way through, and that's exactly what they're doing. Melio looking for a huge double, no good.
I think Akron, when it comes to playing deeper into series, I think they are better at every single game that goes on. I think they're at their worst in game 1, statistically at least in this tournament, and in CCS. They've again not had a lot of success in game 1, but after that it gets better and better and better.
And I don't know what it is about them that I do believe you're right, but I don't know why that is the way they operate. I don't know if that's just kind of sometimes how the cookie crumbles, or I don't know if it takes them getting to those later games to lock in more and more and really bear down and fight. But that being said, it is a fun statistic to look at, and right now they are looking better and better. And meanwhile, Missouri has not been able to get anything going, and they got to find some sort of success before Game 6 if they drop this one.
Absolutely. I don't know if you remember round 1 and the round of 64, number 16 Dayton. That was overtime in game 1. They almost lost to the 16th seed in game 1 of that series. I don't know what it is for either, but Akron has not had the best starts in this tournament. But again, they've always finished the job, and they're looking to go do that the same thing right here and right now with Missouri.
Yeah, now maybe Bubs has a look. No, it's shut down by Oxy. Jonathan, even 50 with Crims to try and stall things out. A Tiger goes right by his Melio. We'll put this one across. Oxy wants a bump. Good demo from Melio, just trying to keep the pressure up. And I mean, Akron have looked incredible to try and end this one.
40 seconds on the clock here in Game 5, and Jonas, what a tournament it's been, nonetheless. And Akron, again, the defending national champions, and no one's ever made it to the title game two times in a row. Could Akron be the first?
Well, all I'm going to say, Nation, is if, we see one more good clear and it looks like we very well might, that we will. It looks like they're going to be 5 minutes away from making that history.
14 seconds as Missouri need to score 2 in the last 10 here, as the Tiger offense has been a stalemate performance in Game 1. Nothing on the board. That clear will do it. Akron is on match point.
They are indeed in Missouri. I mean, they were looking so strong, but now they have dropped 2 in a row to Akron. Can the Tigers make it back? Look at the stat sheet from Mizzou. Only 1 shot logged in that game, and that is obviously getting no offense going. How do you bounce back from that when your opponent's on match point?
You got to start, being aggressive on offense and getting physical. Again, physicality's had a lot of success in this tournament. I think if Missouri can find a way to give them, an off-ball factor like bumping and doubling, it could open up some opportunities.
Yeah, very well could. I mean, something's got to change. I mean, looks like Missouri are going to take the full minute between games to talk things over, and I think that's a solid strategy here to at least try and slow down that momentum that Akron have been able to build, especially in this game, and then try and work your way back into it.
Absolutely. I think, going into Game 6 now, I mean, Missouri's not done. They're going to come back and they're going to fight. They're not going to go down without a fight here in Game 6. If it doesn't go their way, it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, but we'll indeed have to see. Neo Tokyo is set and ready. The reigning champs of Akron Gold want to go back to the national championship for back-to-back seasons. Mizzou have to win this one to take it to Champions Field.
Last game, the only game in this tournament, Missouri has failed to score a goal. That was the first time they've been shut out.
And who else but the reigning champs of Akron to do it? I mean, we know that this offense from Mizzou, we've said it before, we've already said it so many times in the series, they can be unstoppable, but we've seen an unstoppable force meet an immovable object, and that object is Akron. They are not going to let Mizzou through. Maybe a look here for Bubs. It will be picked up by Emilio. Great early save.
Akron's defense comes away with the first save. Emilio fires, goes high. The finish there for Jonathan. Couldn't put away Oxy. In trouble. Will make an awkward touch, giving it back to the Tiger offense.
Frostbite trying to find his way through, cuts it across. There's no one there in support. Jonathan gets himself some boost. Bubs goes middle. Jonathan bumped by Emilio. That's going to give Missouri a chance here to stay alive. Crims a flick over one. It falls to Frostbite. Has Bubs. Middle goes up to him. Oxy intercepts again, and Akron just have such a great read of Missouri's offense right now.
They had a great read for the last 15 minutes, Jonas, and Missouri is starting to feel it defensively and offensively in terms of pressure shifting on Missouri to come alive late in this series to put Akron away. But the Zips trying to advance back to a national title game and make some history right here.
Oh, an Oxy reset rebound. Let them know it's Akron on the board.
Minute 20, the Zips, a 1-0 start. They're 340 away from history.
And Missouri, they just cannot seem to get anything going. Akron, they are looking in tip-top shape, and we'll see how they're going to be able to adapt, because something needs to change. Something needs to go their way. Otherwise, it's going to be too late.
3:30 to go. As Akron looking for goal 2 here, as Crims with nothing has to force it clear out of harm's way, and Akron's offense has continued to just bury pressure on the yellow side.
And ultimately, they have just had full control of the midfield. Any opportunity we've seen on the Akron side for Mizzou to try and put a goal away, it has been minimal at best. They have had no traction going. They've had no possession on the offensive side, just trying to put long shots away solo. Again, we are not seeing Missouri find each other enough. Maybe a look here, but no, again, possession lost through the midfield, and it's just a quick turnaround.
2:50. On the clock here, another minute elapsed off the clock. It's Missouri's offense runners. They've been lethal in this tournament. Their infield passing plays have been nothing short of incredible. With Akron, a breakaway opportunity, an open look in front. It's 2-0.
And Bubs whiffed the clear. It was a very narrow margin at that near post, but he could have had himself a touch away. He tried to get up to that backboard and find a clear away, missed it, and opened it up for Jonathan. It's 2-0 Akron. Mizzou might go down right here, right now.
And Missouri 3-3 when conceding 2+ goals in a game coming into this tonight, and 1-3 so far in this series. And a second goal could spell disaster, which is already struck at this point.
Yeah, Missouri, they got to get their offense started here. Emilio, a good look. Oxy finishes it, and Akron are unstoppable. Mizzou hasn't known what has hit them.
And this is just the pressure of Akron. I mean, again, it all comes full circle. Akron has had a slow start in every single series, but when it gets to the latter half of a best-of-7, they turn it up to another notch. They are impossible to beat.
Yeah, and Missouri, they just can't get anything going, Nation. Offensively, defensively, Akron has had full reign. Bubs looking for a clear away. Good 50 from Moxie. Could be a chance for a counter. Emilio immediately cuts through right through the defense with a 50. Bubs trying to get the offense going is eliminated. Jonathan over one is bumped off. Less than 2 minutes to go. Mizzou still need at least 3.
And at 46, this first goal feel like it has to come in the next 30 seconds, Jonas.
Yeah, I mean, they got to get something. You're looking forward to seeing Bubs or Frostbite get that offense going. Maybe a look here. The flick, not enough power fault from Crimson, straight down into the pavement. Bubs' shot is too weak, and ultimately, Nation, I got to say, Mizzou already almost look like they're beaten.
They do, and Akron's defense playing really slow in transition, buying precious seconds off the clock from Missouri's offense to try and circle back around, but 75 seconds to go. A good fake for Emilio over a second. And Akron's offense can really start to feel it here, Jonas. A second, a back-to-back title game on the line.
Yeah, and ultimately Missouri again. Their offense cannot find its footing. That's a great strike from Bubs. Emilio, better save. Jonathan in transition. Crims is there. Back to the corner. He goes less than a minute for 3 goals versus an Akron team who is beyond locked in. They have it. Emilio off the ceiling, snaps it back down to the corner. I don't know if there's enough time for the Tigers.
40 seconds here at Akron. It's going to hold off tight. 38 more seconds. Missouri's going to have about 12 seconds per goal to score, and right now, that does not look like any possibility of it happening.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, Missouri, they look like they're defeated already. I mean, they're still trying to move down the pitch. They're still trying to score, but it doesn't seem to be in the cards whatsoever. It is Akron all day here on Championship Sunday. 10 seconds. That's gonna be it.
And Akron will make history. They're heading back to the national title game.
And what a victory for the Zips. Emilio, Jonathan, Oxy, they move on to play the winner of Drexel and Michigan State. What a victory for the Zips.
What a victory and what a run it has been. And, I got to mention this again. Missouri, prior to last game, had never been shut out. Their season ends with back-to-back shutouts.
And if you're Drexel or Michigan State, you got to look at that one and be a little bit worried. Missouri has one of the best offenses in this entire league, and Akron just shut them down twice for the first time. That seems undeniably that Akron, they want to go back-to-back national championships. They want the gold again.
That they do. They just guaranteed now an extra $50 of their prize winnings. $100 so far guaranteed for Akron. We're going to go to break, though. When we come back in 10 minutes, it's number 1 Drexel versus number 1 Michigan State. We'll see you guys there.